really the welcome back to school, pretty incredible activity. And for those of you that are in schools that were remodeled, rebuilt, opened, thank you for working really hard. And to our facility staff, so many of you know that when we have summer school and so many of the offerings in summer, that it's a real crunch time. And so our facility staff, folks were working shifts around the clock. And so when you open schools and they're ready to go, not only were facilities, buildings and grounds, folks working hard, many teachers who were having to move classrooms and dislocated for the basically the modernization and upgrades of facilities, moving whole schools across the street, obviously. Just tremendous appreciation for everybody pulling in, and this is beautiful. And if you haven't had a chance to go by some of the facilities, I really encourage you to. The new schoolyard at Sankofa is extraordinary, a community resource, a community asset, tremendous investment, a lot of work together. The Oakland Schoolyard Initiative, really, folks came together and have done amazing work. Obviously, we had folks transitioning from schools that were closed, and a lot of work done at some of those facilities, and just also work, really extraordinary work of staff coming together. So appreciations there. We're still in the early enrollment phase. We're at the 10-day count, really tracking how many kids come. It's usually we basically budget based on the 20th day, and over the last few years, we're trending about the same in terms of being roughly about 500 students under at this point in elementary, about 300 in middle. And the big difference, last year we were trending a little under in high school, but this year high school is the place that we're still figuring out where students are. We've got some schools that are at capacity, and some of the smaller and medium-sized high schools were not fully enrolled yet. So that's where we're doing some work. We're down still about 400 students there. But this is a trend that we continue every year until the 20th day to add kids. So our typical enrollment report is on the 20th day, which we'll be doing. And many of you know that so much of the data that we've been able to share actually was delayed this year, the California Standards Test. So we're still working on all of those data points. The district continues to make improvement. The Academic Performance Index is really weighted and will come out in October. But for us, some of the bigger things that we've paid deep attention to is really holding on to kids and supporting them to graduate. So Oakland Unified has seen an increase in our cohort graduation rate of about 4%. So we are now at 59% of our kids, a four-year cohort graduation rate. That is a significant move in the last 2 years, and now getting close to 60%. The other big move for us, right, is we've committed to all of our high school students to be in A to G coursework, being CSU and UC eligible when they complete their high school experience. And at this point, last year's cohort, we are now at 39.7%, an increase of about 3% of our high school graduates completing A to G. And also the KC pass rate, particularly for our 12th graders who have been not successful, as we now just crossed the 80% rate, which is a big deal for us. So we're making gains, making moves. So much of the work resides in the classroom with teachers, and so deep appreciation. Those numbers are really kudos to the teaching staff and principals and school communities that are showing gains, even as we've been under siege with all of the cuts, and California continues to criminally underfund our kids. And to that end, I was in Sacramento today. Mayor Kevin Johnson hosted the California Mayor's Education Summit. Secretary Duncan starting his cross-country bus tour, Education Drives America. The Secretary started just outside of San Francisco, came to Sacramento today, talking about how important California is, and they have a team that's traveling with them. Yesterday, they hosted in Oakland a focus on Asian American and Pacific Islander issues in education and community. And we had the good fortune to be asked to host that at the Oakland International High School, and so much of the outreach and work in the community-based organizations in our community. A lot of the issues were addressed, English language learner issues. California has 1 in 3 English language learners in the United States. And we have continually underfunded the needs of our kids who are learning English. And that was front and center yesterday. So we have, a lot going on, obviously. There's much to be done. There's another agenda item that I will talk about more in detail, but just in case anybody has to leave, I wanted to recognize United Administrators of Oakland for pretty extraordinary outreach and work in partnership with the Bully Project. Oakland has been selected as one of the districts to be able to help basically fund every one of our kids who in 6th through 12th grade to see the film Bully. And Joanna Lujan really did incredible outreach and has been a partner in this, and staff's working. So we'll talk more about it later, but I just want to appreciate Joanna. And with that, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent.